right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my 100 Days of Making Comics, Volume 3, Day 77. What is 100 Days of Making Comics, you ask? It is the comic making adventure created by artist and illustrator Kevin Cross, the creator of the Monkey Modern Friends show as well, that says for 100 consecutive days to put at least a half hour a day towards your personal projects in comics and then post to social media. So here we are. And if you see gaps in my videos here on YouTube, the reason being, head on over to Facebook and search I'd Rather Be Drawing, and you'll find them there, or on IGTV. And my channel over there is Mr. Green Draws, Mr. Draws. But yep, day 77. So moving right along. What we're working on today is getting back into Oktobr. Reason being, last night I sent off Mr. Green's Monster Zine to the printer, so that is kind of done for now until I get that in the mail and the proof and all that stuff. That is set aside, but something kind of cool that I did want to show you guys is born out of Mr. Green's Monster Zine were these characters here that I ended up using for my Oktobr story. So that was one way to kind of put a little bit of homework in towards other stories, and other characters happen that I probably want to use in other stories as well. So that's a kind of a fun product of doing a drawing challenge for yourself of like 30 characters in 30 days. I didn't even do 30 of them. I did 16, and then realized I could do kind of a little sketchbook themed thing with that because I was doing stories along with them. So that's what this whole thing is going to be. Let's see here. Alright, so anyway, so now that that's done, Mr. Green's Monster Zine, moving on to Oktobr, and that's my pumpkin-headed character right there. I worked on this as a mock-up cover for what I kind of want it to look like to get rolling, and I really like the way it turned out. An artist named Tyler Blake over on Instagram. I believe if you search Tyler Blake or tylerblakeart.com, you'll find him, but he's actually going to be coloring this. So it'll be fun to see that. So what I was doing tonight is I did have this started. Other IRBD artist David Fleming came up with the term the murder board. So that's this guy right here. And this is what I've already got going, and it's different kind of plot points and beats of what I'm wanting to hit and everything. And it's been a while since I've visited this and worked on Oktobr since I did the drawing for the cover, but as far as working on the story, it's been a while since I've really dug in on it because I have been wrapping up the Mr. Green's Monster Zine. So today was the first day of rolling back into Oktobr, so I got a new sketchbook for the occasion when I'm doing a new book and start to kind of plot out and do thumbnails. I get a little thin guy like this that I can fold up and take in my pocket anywhere I go. I really like these sketchbooks. They're thin and nice and durable, and I don't have to feel too precious about it. I started this guy off by working on the sort of thumbnails for what turned into the cover, which this right here you can see is like, you can see right here how rough that I really do thumbnails. But most of it's in there. I kind of move the ghosts around, but for the most part, that's really kind of what I had there. But anyway, so I started that at the back because sometimes it's rough starting a new sketchbook. But on a project sketchbook like this, I'm really not worried about it. So I just jumped to the front and started doing some writing. So with going back through and reading all these story beats and figuring out where I was, I kind of started doing some writing down for things I'm wanting, some story beats for the first part of it. One thing that kind of helps me is I do now know that the sort of form that my comic's going to be in is this guy right here. So it's going to be a square formatted book just like this one, same kind of length right here. So I got a lot to fill, and parts of it might be in this sort of storybook left and right thing, just like Mr. Green's Monster Zine and this one right here. But I want to kind of combine that with comic form kind of going across. And when you have this sort of panoramic thing on a square book, I feel like you can do a lot of cool stuff with a big long scene like that for illustrations. So I think it'll be cool that way. There is a good reason why I'm going to be doing it in this format. Because I do believe my book is going to have this emblem for that publishing on it, as it will eventually be going to Kickstarter. But the real reason I'm bringing that up is it does help me kind of knowing exactly the form that the comic's going to be in. So tonight was a lot of really just kind of trying to picture the movie in my head. Once I can kind of start seeing those scenes, then I can start really kind of writing them down better and getting an idea for them. So it was a little bit slow going today. It feels like a great big old boulder that I'm kind of trying to get rolling again. Which this project has kind of been that way for me for a while, where I get these bursts and get it rolling and then move on to something else, and the boulder stops and I got to start from scratch again. So I know not a whole lot to show you this evening, but I thought it might be kind of fun to show you some past October things. Let's see right here. So I think I've probably shown you guys this one here recently, but I did all these October ones last year for Inktober. I did kind of two things during my Inktober last year. I always think that art challenges, you should really kind of tailor them to fit you. So I was illustrating and inking my last comic that I was doing for Isabel Crane, and I had the whole thing penciled and started doing Inktober, doing a panel of that inking. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays, I would do sort of October art. It was October Tuesdays and then fan art Fridays. And so I would do October with kind of another star. And I saw the new It movie last year and loved it. So that was him with all the kids. I really kind of like the way that this one turned out. A little Calvin and Hobbes sort of a thing there too with October. Not too impressed with picking on the kids there, Pennywise. This is another one. Last year I had a Friday the 13th. So October was trying to help him celebrate. And I don't know about you, but Halloween is always a good time to watch a little Harry Potter, and October is a fan himself. So even October likes to dress up. And what's Halloween without a Rocky Horror Picture Show viewing? Am I right? That was a fun one. This one was inspired, as was this one, from my reading The Halloween Tree last year by Ray Bradbury. I felt robbed that I hadn't read that sooner in life, but I really loved it, and so it influenced. Let's see here, and then I had accidentally skipped over a page. Oh, and this one right here, I really enjoyed. That was a Show Me a Mean Face, and then her not being too impressed. That was a fun one. And then, yeah, this was another one of, the Doc Goblin coming at you. But anyway, so yeah, those are some little shots of October. I think this guy's been around a while for me, and the previous Inktober, that's where this sketchbook came from, in an Art Snacks promotion. We'll do just a quick flip through here because I think I've got a couple other. Yep, so we got this October here. So this was the year before, so I've had this guy for a few years now. As you can see, that's why I'm definitely ready to get a book going with them. And I think in this format of a book, it's going to be really cool, and I think people are going to dig it. And by the way, if you don't know, go check out Chris Rao. Look him up on Kickstarter right now because he's running another one for another beautiful book called I Had a Nightmare. So search I Had a Nightmare or Chris Rao, and you'll find it. And also, go find this book, Magnus. All right. So anyway, this is like the quickest flip through ever because I just want to show you. Yep. With Paranorman. Oh, I love that movie. I live in Bellingham, Washington, so not too far from Portland, Oregon. And I don't know if Leica Studios does Any kind of tours or anything? I need to look that up. I've had a couple people ask me after seeing my character design for Oktobr if I've ever seen Trick or Treat, and so I definitely want people to know that I absolutely give some credit on that to that cute little guy. He's just a little bit less murderous, so that's why I kind of did this drawing here. I think it was kind of a, you want to go out and play, and he's like, sure. He's like, well, that's not what I had in mind, but you know. But he's ready. I like the way that one turned out. Kind of fun down memory lane. Memory lane. Anyway. Do I have one more? I thought I had one more. I like that guy too. Sorry guys. Oh, this is a quick one. It was Inktober, so sometimes they go pretty fast. But that was a fun one, teaming up with them. I'd like to do a better one with a... Ooh, do a fan art fiction thing with those guys. Oh, I might do that and release it as a free thing on the internet. I'd love to do that. This guy I ended up using in the story too. That ended up being this guy down here, Fergus. So, some of your just drawings and sketch arounds can lead to other good stuff. That may be it. That may be all the Oktobers. So yeah, that was it being and then that one. That was his kind of Wolverine pose. So anyway, wow, this one went on a little longer than I meant it to, but at least show you where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm working with. Really excited to get something going on this guy. But yeah, probably try to write for a little bit longer tonight. Like I said, keep it rolling. I close tonight and I open in the morning. So tomorrow night, hoping I can have a little bit more time to sit and think about this one. So just got to keep it writing. Want to script it out so it looks good and we get a good product going. Because when this comes to you, it's going to be looking pretty sharp. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. Once again, Scott O Green here. If you don't see me here on YouTube, check me out on Instagram under Mr. Green Draws. And that's where you'll find all the rest of my 100 days of making comics, where I've been selling my first comic, getting my next comic ready for print, this guy right here, and then starting on making the next one for this cute little guy right there. All right. Happy Oktobr, everybody. Bye.